who believes, because of my impulsive Stork prophecy, that an heir exists here on our earthly Midgard and is none other than Leira. Leira, as in my born too soon, still frail, 5-month-old sister, whose name, pre-chosen by our long-dead grandmother, is one from a Selkie legend and an anagram of Ariel, like in The Little Mermaid. Not to mention she was born with webbed fingers and toes. Yeah, that Leira, that Saphira, that Vatnheim, that Marik. I wanted to hurl. Penny, turning, must have noticed my greenish hue.
"Kat, are you all right?"
she asked. Sorry. I put a hand to my tummy. My mom put a shot of wheatgrass in my smoothie this morning. She had. It was nasty. I think it and the acai just started a turf war. It really had left an aftertaste, one that had, if nothing else, provided a tip-of-the-tongue alibi for my puckered cheeks.
"Should you go to the nurse?"
Penny asked, hugging the clipboard to her chest. And leave Marik unattended? No way. "I'll be fine," I said. Like I had a choice. Like I intended to let Marik, who was eyeing me playfully, out of my sight for a second. Unsuspecting Norse Falls had more than its share of the para-abled pounding its streets. Besides my own clan of soul-delivering storks and my Jack Frost-descended boyfriend, we'd come up against Wade, an evil raven, and Brigid, the power-hungry snow queen from Land o' Snow, Niflheim. The last thing we needed was... "Jinky?" I said, steadying myself against the front office counter. Jinky, the second of our new kids, arrived, and now stood just a few steps inside the office waiting area. Jinky was the tough chick rune-reading gypsy girl, Roma, if we're being PC, who swiped my runes last spring in Iceland. With the help of her Laplander, Sammy, if we're still being PC, grandmother, she launched me onto some kind of sweat lodge-induced vision quest, the one where I met Marik and wrested Jack out of Brigid's frigid fingers. That Jinky. And as back-to-schools went, this one was sizing up to be epic in all the worst ways.
"Do you two know each other?"
Penny asked, confused. She thumbed through the papers of her welcome packet as if she were out of the loop. I knew the feeling, except it wasn't so much that I felt out of the loop, rather that it was cinching around me, my neck, to be specific.
"We met in Iceland,"
Jinky said,
"at the festival. Kat told me such great things about Norse Falls that I was intrigued. So intrigued I talked my cousin, Marik here, into joining me for a study abroad program."
Okay, so that was the story. It didn't seem like I had much choice but to go along with it. "What a surprise," I said, taking a step toward Jinky. "You should have let me know you were coming." Penny, still baffled, watched us. By now, she knew me better than anyone around here, and if Jinky had come halfway across the world to see Norse Falls at my, albeit inadvertent, recommendation, I'd be pretty stoked. So stoked I'd, hug the girl. Wouldn't I? I took the final step separating us and threw my arms around Jinky. Judging by the way she stiffened, she wasn't the PDA type. Marik rushed forward, too, extending his hand, thank God.
"So nice to see you again, Katla."
We shook. At least he didn't try to embrace me. Penny was still looking at me like I was big time holding out on her. "Wow," I said, shaking the hair out of my face. "This is turning into one wild morning," said the human stork to the merman and the rune-reading gypsy. Not knowing what to do with either of these unwelcome visitors, I was stalling for time. Penny pulled 2 sheets of paper from the clipboard.
"Here are their schedules. We should split up."